Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. All right, picture this for a minute. You've seen this before. You'll recognize it, but the clouds part. A lion cub he's now grown, but he's hiding. He's looking up and he sees his father's face in the sky. And then he hears this: Simba, you have forgotten who you are, and so forgotten me. Look inside yourself, Simba. You are more than what you have become. Now, if you've seen The Lion King, you'll know the moment. In fact, if you're honest, you probably felt it too. It's not a story about a lion, is it? It's about something that's uncomfortably close to home. Napoleon Hill spent years studying what keeps people from living the life they were made for. In this book that I've recommended many times, Outwitting the Devil, he identified the primary weapon that's used against us. It isn't temptation. It isn't failure. It isn't even fear. It's drifting. Drifting. Drifting, Hill writes, is the state of moving through life without definite purpose, without intentional thought, without self-direction. See, the drifter doesn't decide, they default. They don't choose, they react. They don't lead their own life, they are carried by whatever current is strongest in the day. And this is why. This is what stopped me cold when I first read it. He said, the devil isn't looking for evil people. He's looking for drifters. Was Simba evil? Evil? No. He was grieving. He was guilty. He was distracted. Hakuna Matata, no worries. That's what his parents gave him to kind of support him, who needed to survive. But Simba let it become a permanent address. What started as a lifeline became an excuse to stay small, to stay hidden, to stay away from everything that he was meant to be. Now, Hill would have recognized that immediately. He would have said, that's a drifter in the making. Sound familiar? So before we go further, I'm going to ask you a question. Don't rush past it. I want you to think about this. It stopped me, okay? Who believed in you before you believed in yourself? Who believed in you before you believed in yourself? Let that question breathe. I think the first name's going to come quickly. It did for me. But stay with it. There are more. When I first thought of this question, I first thought of my mom. She absolutely believed in me. I'm so grateful for that. And I thought of a junior high teacher who's now 93 years old, and we still stay in touch to this day. And then a coach, and then another person, right up to this present moment. It kept growing. Names and faces of people who see something or saw something in me that I hadn't seen in myself. So here's the question it led to. What would it take for me to believe in myself as much as they did? What would it take for you to believe in those people you wrote down as they did? You see, Mufasa, he didn't appear to condemn Simba. He appeared to call him back to identity, back to purpose, back to the life that was always his to live. And that's what the list of names that is doing for you right now. I hope you did write down that list of names. Every person on that list now becomes a Mufasa moment. They looked at you, maybe when you couldn't look at yourself, and they said in their own way, you are more than you have become. And that's a gift. And the waking up is exactly how you recognize it as a gift. The question is never whether these people believed in you. They did. The question is whether you will. So where might you be drifting? Not into evil, not into failure, maybe just into smallness or into busyness, into the comfortable numbness of a permanent address you were never meant to keep. Hill would say that the antidote to drifting is a definite major purpose, a life lived with intention, lived with direction, and self-command. Mufasa would say, look inside yourself. And I would say, start with gratitude. Let the list of people who believed in you remind you of who you actually are. And then today, this Monday, or whatever day that you're looking at this, take one step back toward that person, not for you alone, but for everyone who saw you before you could see yourself. If this message resonates, or you think somebody else would enjoy hearing this, please share it. Let's go big. Let's be in gratitude. Have a meaningful week. We'll talk next week. Bye-bye.